Millions.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, we are live. It's Matt White from the other side of the selfie, and I'm here tonight with Mark Medley. We'll give you a couple minutes to jump on and join us. We know that the Grammys are on. You can pause that for just a minute, and Mark suggested that if you wait with us for just a couple minutes, then you can go back and you can fast forward through a couple rounds of commercials.
So bonus.
Yes. And if it's anything like what our testing process has been, you might actually have a laugh or two. So
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll give you a couple minutes to join on. And join us too. We're having a beer at the same time. So cheers, Mark. Make sure you share this with your team. If you're on here from some sort of network marketing or direct sales, whatever you want to call yourselves, whether you're with Unique, whether you're with any other company. I know there's several others that we've had conversations with that are interested in what we're talking about here. Be sure to share this with your team, share it on your page. You can hashtag other side of the selfie, hashtag like network marketing, hashtag direct sales, things like that, just to try to get it out to your teams and people that you might see as this stuff being helpful. The goal is to basically share from what we call the other side of the selfie, which is basically on the husband or the significant other side, to basically just share our thoughts, share our ideas, share our challenges and concerns and frustrations and joys and all that fun stuff, just to be able to kind of encourage those guys that might be trying to support their wives but don't quite know what to do. And also for those maybe that are considering if their wife or girlfriend or fiance or whatever might be considering joining network marketing or direct sales kind of stuff, that maybe we can encourage you and kind of support that whole concept and what you might be thinking about, questions you might have, all that fun stuff. So we give you one more minute and then we will get started. My phone is buzzing, so I'm gonna see if it's my wife telling me to do something.
Something's bad or good.
Change something. Oh no, it's a text from my son, my 15-year-old, asking if we can have a Super Bowl party, which is what, like next weekend? So how awesome is that? Yeah, we'll respond to that later. Awesome.
He thought it would be a vulnerable moment for you.
Yes. Hey, Dad, I see you're live. I know you can't answer anything real fast, so just would you mind? All right, cool. So Mark Medley, Mark's wife, Liz Medley, has been in direct sales and works for Unique, which is the same company that my wife works for. Mark, if you would just take a minute or two, give us a quick background about who you are, maybe what your relationship, how just a real quick about you and Liz, kids you have, that kind of fun stuff, where you live, and then maybe what you do day to day, just not connected to any of this stuff, but just kind of who in the heck are you, Mark Medley?
All right, sounds good. So, as Matt mentioned, my name is Mark Medley, and my wife is Liz Medley. So we live in Columbus, Indiana, and I've been here in Columbus, Indiana for just about 12 years. Actually, next month be 12 years. So I moved up here for work. I am a project manager with a Fortune 500 company in Columbus, Indiana. Should be easy to figure out. And I moved here back in 2006 and met my wife actually right when I moved here. I met Liz the week that I moved into town. It was kind of lucky. And
tell us that story just real quick. A little side note.
You don't
have to get into too many details. Yeah, you don't get too many details, but
a real short side note. So the third day I was in town, I pulled up a seat at the local bar, kind of a shady little spot, and happened to sit down next to my wife. And the rest, as they say, is history. Right?
I love that story. That's awesome. All right, sorry. Go ahead. Keep going with it.
It's all right. So when I moved here into town, Liz was working at a salon. She owned a salon, and she had that salon for 11 years, almost 11 years. And so really a lot of what we do, we like to boat and hang out and do a lot of fun things. But Other than that, that's kind of who we are. We do have a daughter. She is 5, soon to be 6, going on 16.
Yeah, right.
And yeah, of course. And that's a little bit about us and myself.
Cool. So, when did Liz get involved in Unique? How long has she been in direct sales?
Liz started with Unique in almost 4 years ago. So in May she'll be 4 years. So it was
Okay.
right as she was on in the process of selling her salon to stay home more with Ruby, our daughter. So all of that kind of happened at the same time. She was in the process of selling her business and kind of came into Unique through a friend of hers, and has been in direct sales ever since, and spends a lot of time doing it.
Yeah. What was so when that happened, and it sounds like there's a bunch of stuff that was going on in your life at the time for sure. What was kind of one of the first things that came to your mind? Like, what was your response whenever she said, "Hey, I think I'm gonna start selling makeup," or "Hey, I want to go into this other business for myself"? Obviously, she was an entrepreneur already, so she had some of that. But I think from the direct sales, it certainly is a different mentality. But like, what did you think when she first brought that to you or first brought it up?
Yeah, I didn't have a whole lot of I guess background. I mean, one thing that you hear people sometimes it has a bad there's a stigma associated with a lot of the direct sales, but I didn't really I wasn't that concerned about it. I guess my thought initially was that she was going to stay home, and if she had a part-time job selling makeup, great, right? That's great. It's even better. I didn't know what she was going to do with her spare time, just to be honest. So
Yeah.
that became what she was going to do with her time after she sold the salon. So, I really didn't have any thoughts that it was this make believe kind of thing.
Yeah. So nothing
And,
good or bad, just kind of
no,
neutral, it sounds like.
yeah, pretty
Yeah.
neutral. I definitely didn't have any bad thoughts about it.
Yeah. And then at what point did you kind of, I don't know if that's the right word to say, but like at what point did you realize that this was something, like there was something to this business thing that she was kicking off?
It's probably about 4 or 5 months in. So she climbed up the ranks in the company that she works for really quickly. And I think in about 4 months in, her paychecks were bigger than mine. And so I thought, wow, if this is really sustainable, right, this could be definitely could be something for our family to change the way that we do things today. So.
And then what was the like as she started getting into it? And I talked to her a little bit, but from your perspective, kind of what came in and what changed in her that was like, hey, this is, I'm guessing she kind of jumped into it a little bit. I don't know if she jumped full in maybe, or did she just kind of dip her toes in a little bit? And then what did that look like? And at what point was she like, holy cow, this is something that's a really great opportunity?
Yeah, so I think she being a salon owner, she did a lot of work with people, and so she was already using all of the Facebook and the Snapchat and the this and the that. Right, she was already using it all and doing it every day, so it wasn't a big deal. And she just turned that into took it to the next level. And so I think it was probably around the same time, around the 4 or 5 months in, where she said, "Hey." I'm spending time doing this and I'm getting real returns, and I'm actually doing it whenever I want. So I think it was probably right around the same time where she said, out loud. I mean, we had discussions about the fact that this could be something big, a big change for our family. So.
Yeah. So I've talked to you about that, and so how has that affected when she started making some decent money, good money, and then it allowed you to, I know you said that you've been able to save a whole lot, and just some of the things, you don't have to get into all the details, but just how it's affected you guys financially. How's that just in general? Again, like I said, don't need to divulge anything, but
Yeah, I mean, really, I think we had made the decision that she was going to quit her job, right? And when she left the salon, and so when she started making money, and like I said, she was getting paychecks that were bigger than mine, a year or so into the program. And I think really what it changed for us was that we definitely started saving a lot more money. And we're able to do some more things that, I mean, we did whatever we wanted, to be honest. But now it's just the scope of that's changed, and you know, I would just have to say that I don't believe I'll be working until I'm 70. That's for sure.
Nice.
I don't
That's
know when
nice.
I'll be leaving the general workforce, but hopefully long before then.
Yeah. And so, what do you do as the husband of Liz? Like, what do you do much? Do you do a lot? Do you, as far as supporting her in her business? And I mean, obviously, I've seen you, on the cruises and some of the trips, the incentive trips. But behind that stuff, obviously, which is enjoyable for us as husbands. But what does it look like from a work and support, and whether it's emotional or physical or whatever, as far as how you support her and what she does?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I contribute to her being into direct sales is not making her feel bad about the time she spends doing it, right? Because she spends a lot of time at critical times for her family. So at 5 o'clock, so between 5 and 7 o'clock, when everyone is getting home from work and they're on the social media and doing things, that's when she needs to work, right? And so it's small things that I've kind of always done. It's just now it's more of something that I need to do now. So, for instance, grocery shopping or cooking dinner, right? Just things that, and like I said, I've always done those. It's not like I picked that up because
Sure.
my wife needed me
Yeah,
to.
yeah, yeah.
And then really just making it clear to her that it's okay to work later, stay up and do a 10 o'clock Zoom meeting or whatever she has to do, right? And she does travel a lot, right? With Unique and going around to network marketing shows and all around the country and around the world, most
Yeah.
recently. So, that's been a lot of fun, like you said, and I definitely enjoy traveling and being a part of that and seeing all these other people that are successful with this business. So that's been a lot of
I
fun.
think it's Yeah, I think it's neat that you say so. There's kind of a combination of those things that says there is some good side to that. Obviously, right? It's really cool. Good to see her expanding, and granted, you've kind of stepped in where you need to step in. But I assume if it's anything like our situation too, that there's also some challenges sometimes that come into play, whether it's on the time standpoint or whether it's the time on the phone, time away, that kind of thing. So what are some of those challenges maybe that have come up, and then how have you guys dealt with them if and when they do come up?
Yeah, really, I think the biggest thing is just she's on her phone or her computer a lot, right? I mean, anyone who is in this business knows that that's how the money is made, right? By making these contacts and communicating with people, right? And sharing the product or the brand that you have, right? So I think really the biggest thing is that every once in a while you have to take a little bit of a break from it, and we're lucky enough to have a boat, and a lot of times when we're on the boat, not that she can't, but she does take more breaks when we're on the boat, so it's a little nice to kind of get away. We boat in Louisville, Kentucky, so it's not that there's not fast internet speed and all of that, right? We're right in the city, so it's not that much different. But really, I think it's really just the time commitment, and it's at these times when you would want to, or I guess maybe a model family, right, might be together at this between 5 and 7 p.m., right? And I know that she needs to do her business because that's when people are online.
It's the prime
So
stuff, yeah.
yeah, it's just you just learn these types of things, but I think really it's just the time commitment at these times when you might want to spend some extra time with your wife. But other than that, she does travel a lot. But I used to travel a lot for my job, and I've traveled less now. So we just kind of flipped it a little. It's always interesting with a 5-year-old
Yeah.
when both of us have to travel, which is happening over the next couple weeks. I think me and her are going to a company sponsored event next week. Well, not next week, Wednesday.
Oh, this week.
Yeah,
Nice.
like, in
Yeah.
just a couple of days, we're going out to
Right.
California, so
Okay.
should be a lot of fun. So.
So, what would you, for somebody who might be starting out, either they're just at the beginning stages of doing something like this, or they're considering going into this, and I'm the spouse of that person, I'm the husband or the fiance or the girl or the boyfriend of somebody that is looking to get into, and not just unique, but any direct sales type of thing that does require this type of commitment and the time away and all that kind of stuff. Like, what would you say? Maybe to yourself 4 years ago, or whatever, that would just kind of say, hey, here's something that you should think about, or make sure you keep in mind as you might be jumping into it.
Yeah, I think one thing is to know that this isn't a fad, right? I mean, this has been around for a long time, right? Direct sales and direct marketing. It's not something that is going to be gone next year or going to be gone in 6 months, right? I think some people get concerned about if their significant other focuses on this work and it doesn't work out, or they don't make enough money, right? I think a lot of it's based on money and people's I guess lack of knowledge about direct sales and network marketing in general. So I would say support your partner and what they're doing. It probably will feel a little scary if your significant other tells you they're going to quit their job and do this all full time, right? I
Right,
can
right.
imagine. But I hear these stories all the time, right, from Liz about people that do just that, quit very well paying jobs to do direct sales on a daily basis. And I think really in general, it's just trust that people can do this. It's very doable with putting in the time commitment. And like I
Yeah,
said, it's not a fad.
yeah, I think you're right. You look back at whether it's makeup, whether it's Tupperware, whether it's I mean any kind of businesses like this that are from a direct sales perspective. And a lot of them certainly are female driven, and a great opportunity for folks to get involved in that side where they can do other things that they love, whether it's a full-time job in a lot of people's cases, or whether it's being a mom, or whether it's just extra, something that they want to do on their own. But yeah, I mean, it's been around, right? I mean, for a long time. Now there's just the opportunity from the internet perspective is what really gives them such an opportunity. And I shared a little bit on last week's episode about kind of our situation, and the big deal with Anne whenever she got into it was she had done some of the other type of network marketing, direct sales stuff with selling purses and selling jewelry and selling some of the other ones. A lot of those things involved a lot more time because you were throwing parties, you were going to people's houses, you were doing a lot of stuff. But now she can do it from sitting in her bed, or sitting on the couch, or when she wakes up in the morning, or whatever. So there's
Or the beach,
flexibility, or sitting on the beach, yeah, which is always very nice.
yeah,
And yeah, that's a great point. I think to bring up that
yeah,
freedom and flexibility to be able to do what you want, when you want, where you want. We live in Ohio. You guys live in Indiana. You may love where you are. I don't love where we are so much, but the time that we get to spend in Florida, the time we even we were in Anguilla this past summer, and she was able to do her work while we're sitting at the pool, at the beach, whatever. I mean, it's a wonderful opportunity to be able to have that freedom and flexibility for sure.
yeah.
So what do you think has been, like, if you were to say, hey, this is the biggest lesson that I've learned in this whole thing in the last 4 years, what's kind of this lesson maybe that you would say, hey, during this time, this is the thing either I didn't expect and this is what I learned, or kind of an aha moment or something like that would say, hey, this is what I've learned in this process?
I guess really the biggest thing for me has been the amount of money that direct sales companies make in general, right? How much money there is out there, and how much sales happen globally, right, on this type of business. I guess I just wasn't aware really of the scope of it, and how many people do this as a daily job. I just never knew that. And Liz has been lucky enough to go around and she spoke at some of the network marketing leaders conferences around the U.S. and soon she'll be overseas doing the same thing. And so she's meeting a lot of people doing this, that this is their daily job in some way, shape, or form, right? Network marketing and direct sales in general. But, really, I think that's it, right? That this is a huge business, and the company that our wives work for, Unique, is a very young company. It's only 5 years old, and I hear some people say, "Oh, is it going to be here? Is it sustainable?" And sometimes if I see someone after 6 months or a year, they might say, "Oh, how are things going with Unique? Is your wife still working there?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, she is working there. She does work with them on a daily basis." So it's really just that this isn't going anywhere, and there's lots and lots of people that do this.
It's amazing, and I've run into the same thing. I think that's a great point. Is the even as I started this whole other side of the selfie thing, and as I started putting it out there and did kind of this little welcome video that said, "Hey, here's what I'm trying to do." It's not just Unique, but it's people that are selling all kinds of stuff, and people were like, "Hey, just tell me you're not going to only focus on Unique, because this is an experience for any kind of direct sales where a husband or a boyfriend or whatever questions somebody's involved, their wife or spouse or fiance or whatever, girlfriend, getting involved in something like this because they're not quite sure where it's going to go, or they don't know if they're fully committed, or whatever questions they may have." But what I've seen is, all over Facebook, friends that are folks that I went to high school with, that are selling stuff that has nothing to do with Unique, but it just is in the direct sales world. Anything from clothes, again, to jewelry, to bags, to supplements, to anything you can think of is now, it seems like, it can be sold through a network marketing company of some sort. And so I think this challenges, concerns, the joys, the pleasures, the good, the bad, is not just a Unique thing. It's just it's for any type of company. And like you said, there's just a ton of it out there. It's crazy to see so many people involved.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been great, though. I'm really, really having a great time with it. And we get to do a lot of things, so I'm definitely very grateful.
Yeah, cool. Well, thanks, Mark. We're going to wrap it up here. I know people are maybe wanting to get back to the Grammys and all that kind of fun stuff, but thanks for joining me.
All right.
Feel free, guys, if you're on, like I said, you can share this after the fact. If you're watching this after the fact, share it with your team, share it with your friends, anybody that may be in a place where they're considering, or maybe they're in it, but they're not quite sure that it's working out, or if it's for them, or if they have somebody on the other side that might be questioning some of those things. That's what this whole channel and this show is for. So please share this out there. We'd love to help support and encourage, and again, just kind of share our thoughts and ideas and situations and how we've kind of gone through it. So hopefully that experience can help some other folks. So thanks again, Mark. Appreciate you joining me.
All right. Thank you.
And my joking, because I started it this way, is I'm going to say peace out from the other side of the selfie. And then here's where it gets really fun, because I'm going to click this button that says in broadcast, and for some reason it never works out properly. So don't say anything. Don't say anything bad.
Not really.
Until it actually goes away. All right.